Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam Vande Guru-paramparam. Excuse me. So we are in Kathopanishad, part 1, chapter 3, and let me first, someone's volume is on, Shailendra, so we mute it. So we are in Kathopanishad, chapter 1, part 3, and we are looking at the method by which one puts into practice what has been stated. And here the Yat chedvang manasa prajnyaha tadyad jnana atmani jnanam atmani mahati nyachet tadyad ched shanta atmani. This is the verse that we were looking at last week, and and there it was told that where are we? In the 13th. One moment, huh? Yat chedvang manasi prajnyaha tadyat ched jnana atmani jnanam atmani mahati nyachet tadyat ched shanta atmani. Another lay prakriya was given, and this lay prakriya was absorption of the grosser into the subtler. And here we saw Vang Manasi Prajnaha. So Vak, the Vang is Vak. Vak means speech, and last week we told you Vak represents all the 10 organs of action and perception. Seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting are the organs of perception or knowledge, and speech, hands, legs, anus and genitals are organs of action. So what do we do with these 10? We absorb them back into the mind. How do we absorb them back into the mind? Like you do it when you go to sleep. You absorb all your 5 senses, 10 senses, and your body. Everything is absorbed back into the mind. Then you see the body only in the dream. Then that also is absorbed. Then you go into nothingness. So you know how to do it. But we have never contemplated on consciously bringing it about. Because we are living at default, considering only this waking, and that is my life in this waking. These things start happening when we are committed to the infinite, not as an object of pursuit. When we are committed to the divine, to recognize that this self, this consciousness that I am, itself is the infinite one. When we are committed to that, then every moment we are inspired to look at whatever is coming to us, whatever is happening. From that, we make an attempt, we make ourselves available to see everything from the absolute standpoint, from the total standpoint. If not absolute, from absolute there is no standpoint, from the total standpoint. For that, discrimination is necessary. Again we repeat, discrimination means be absolutely consciously aware of what is changing and what is the unchanging principle. And what are we attached to? The changing principle. And based, having got attached to the changing, mind is changing, breath is changing, body is changing, people around you are changing, the world is changing, and we are trying to catch that. It is not possible. If at all, try to catch the permanent one, which you are. Be that. No, I don't know how to be. Catch it. Start somewhere. At least have the acumen to recognize that there is something holier, something worthy of pursuit. Instead of running outwards towards the world which can never be caught, try to catch that which is already yours. Oh, but I don't know. Try. Give it a go. Tad yachet jnana atmani. And the mind into the intellect, and intellect then into the intellect. Intellect means the atmani. Atmani means for the for the 10 senses, mind is the soul. Mind is the atma of the 10 senses. Because mind is pervading the 10. The 10 cannot exist without the mind. Next, mind is pervaded by the intellect, the I. Without the I, mind has got no meaning. Second line. Third line, jnanam atmani mahati niyachet. With understanding, with contemplation, with cool-headedness. This I-ness, this I that you consider yourself to be, which is expressing in the Vijnanmaya Kosh, in the intellectual sheath, absorb it back into its source, which is the total I, the Mahat Tattva. Yesterday I was giving you an example. Last week I was giving you an example. This is also not out of your experience. This is also you are experiencing it every day. What? I am the total I. Yes, this whole world is in your mind. How? Like in the dream. Your mind alone is pervading every person in the dream, every sense in the dream, every intellect in the dream. Your mind alone is the I of every person in the dream. Every cell, every organ, every atom, all the 5 elements, space, air, fire, water, earth, all the inert and the sentient in the dream, everything is nothing but the mind. Mind is pervading in and through. Just like water is pervading the wave in and through. So for all the people in the dream, your mind is the Mahat. They can never experience it unless they don't drop their body identification, their individual sense of I. Recognize this is happening to us every day. Exactly the same way, what is just as the dreamer considers all the dream people to be separate from him in the dream, but when you wake up, you realize you and the entire dream world was nothing but your mind. So is true for the waking plane also. This sadhana is not told, this verse, to do it in the dream. It's in the waking. Recognize that this every being in this creation, in this waking creation. But for that, we have to take a step higher. We have to get out of this body identification. We have to contemplate that this I is the part of the total I, and the individual I and the total I are not separate. Suddenly you will find yourself to be there. Just like you are able to drop away the I which is relating to the family as the father, the brother, the husband, etc. And when you are in your office, you are the employee. You are able to drop all of them away. Why? Because you don't drop them away. You become committed to being the employee I. That's all you do. So, same here. You be committed to the total I. Automatically the individual I will drop away. It will be transformed. See? Jnanam atmani mahati niyachet tadyachet shanta atmani. And that total I, the Mahat Tattva, the I, what is this Mahat Tattva? Where all the possibilities are there. It alone is everything. Merge that total I. Shanta Atma. Shant means what? Shant means silent. Shant means quiet. Shant means where there are no agitations. Shant means where there is no manifestation. Shant. In the previous verse, that word Shant, instead of word Shant, there it was used Avyakta. Avyakta was unmanifest. Unmanifest is also Shant. Unmanifest is also means quietness. But is it a dull, inert quietness, or is it conscious? Have you gone to sleep with the quietness like every night you do, or are you conscious that the mind has become quiet? Shanta Atmani. When we remain awake, when we remain, with this process, if we come to be quiet, to be silent, to be undisturbed by the fluctuation of the mind. The fluctuation of the mind is pravritti, nivritti, involvement, withdrawal. Withdrawal is silence, involvement is the whole world. And you are not disturbed by that. We have taken it to silent. It has become silent. In that silent, if you are conscious, that's the truth. That's the Shanta Atmani. That is the Paramatman. That is the Brahman. Because we have gone from individuality to totality. From totality, we have not become afraid of silence. In that silence, the presence reveals itself. For us, what reveals in silence? Sleep. So in this manner, we saw this verse last week, And now we go to the Sambandha Bhashya. Sambandha Bhashya says, let me take this. Arey baap re, itna chota chota. One moment. Part two. इधर दिया ही नहीं है. पता नहीं कहाँ है. हाँ, एवं पुरुष आत्मनि सर्वं प्रविलाप्य नाम रूप कर्मत्रयं यन्मिथ्याज्ञान विजृंभितं क्रियाकारक फल लक्षणं स्वात्मया स्वात्मयाथात्मज्ञानेन मरीचि उदकरज्जु सर्प गगनमलानीव मरीचिः रज्जु गगनस्वरूप दर्शनेनैव स्वस्थः प्रशान्तात्मा कृतकृत्यः भवति यतः अतः तद्दर्शनार्थं. Here he says, एवं पुरुष आत्मी सर्वं प्रविलाप्य नाम रूप कर्म त्रयम यन मिथ्या ज्ञान विजृंभितम. So here he says, if you take the whole thing, that what is Mrigatrushna? Mrigatrushna, the word was used. It means mirage. Rajju Sarp means, it is a very popular example in our Vedanta, that Rajju means this rope and Sarpa means the snake. Snake on the rope. I am telling the other way. Snake on the rope. And similarly, another example which is taken, which is of Akash, that that because they are present, we feel today. What is the weather report? There is going to be heavy rains and there is going to be thunderstorm and there is going to be lot of disruption. So someone was supposed to come. They said, Swamiji, we are not coming. Why? Because we are about 45 minutes away and it will take some time for us to come and we don't want to get caught up in the storm. Where are you traveling? In the storm or in the space? You are traveling in the space. Is space affected by the storm? No. Is space affected by the air, high winds? No. Is the rope affected by the snake? No. Is the space, the Akash, affected by the Mrigatrushna? Does the space get wet by the mirage waters? No. These examples are not just, hundreds of times you have heard it. Oh, what's the big deal, You have to apply it on yourself. Be like the Akasha. Just as the mirage appears, but the space does not get wet. Similarly, the mirage appears of this world. You should not get affected by it. You are not getting affected. You are imagining that you are getting affected. All the things that happened in the dream, did the mind get affected? No. You get up, I don't know what the dream was. You come to know the snake, that snake was a false imagination. The reality is the rope. Immediately the fear goes away. Similarly, come to know the real one. Similarly, here it says, just as the space is corrupted when our attention is on the corruption rather than the space. The rope is corrupted because you are not able to see the rope, your attention is on the snake. Similarly, your knowledge, in this Shankaracharya is saying, your knowledge about yourself becomes corrupted when you give attention, value, importance to mithya jnana. You give attention, value, importance to that which is changing. That which is changing is unreal. That which is changing is mithya. Changing can never be real. Only the constant can be real. And what is changing? All the names and all the forms are changing. We have invested in all the names and we have invested in all the forms. And then we wonder why we are disturbed, why we are restless, why there are desires, why we are unable to sleep at night, why we are whatever, all different things you can think of. Why? But have we worked? We have heard these type of statements. You have done Ramana Gita, you have done Upadesh Sar, you have done Isha Upanishad, Keno Upanishad with me now, Kaivalya Upanishad. Have we weaned away from giving importance to name and form till today? Or Swamiji, that was a wonderful discourse on Kaivalya Upanishad. Swamiji, that was a wonderful discourse on this Upanishad or that Upanishad or Bhagavad Gita. You think Upanishad wants our validation? It doesn't need our validation. It knows what it is sharing with us. It has been sharing itself for thousands of years. Many like you and me have come and gone. It doesn't need our validation. So we are all full of ourselves, We have studied this Upanishad, we have studied that Bhagavad Gita. We have to apply diligently on a daily basis. Take any of these 3 verses. Which verse we are on now? 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. 4 verses. 10th was the vision presented. 11th, 12th, 13th were the methodology. 3 different, first and second was the prakriya, absorption, and the third one was again a different way of looking at it. See? And because we give importance to name and form, and when we give importance to name and form, and we are not giving importance to name and form outside. The first name and form is, I have this form and I am Swami, I am so and so, blah blah blah. Immediately the samsara begins. And the moment you give attention and value and importance to this form, that from that very moment onwards, action begins. The job of body, breath, mind, intellect is to be in activity. Mind will think. Breath will come in and out. You didn't start it, it is going on. You didn't start thinking, then now I start thinking. You never made that decision. Thoughts are coming and going. Body is by itself changing, growing. Sometimes healthy, sometimes unhealthy. It's going on. You didn't start it. You didn't start that process. But somewhere one idiot comes up, and he says, it is my body, it is my mind, it is my, if I don't stop breathing, if I stop breathing, I will die. I want to maintain the health. And then the moment he identifies with the activity of the equipment, then that activity is no longer an activity. It is called karma, because there is a doer. Actually, activity is going on because the nature is active. Nature of the mind is to think or not think. Breath is to go in and come out. Body is to change. But someone has started owning it now. And the problem begins. Even though we are immaculate, even though we are Shuddha, we are like that space, untouched by everything that it supports within itself. Untouched. The air cannot dry it, the fire cannot burn it, the water cannot wet it. Space remains the same. The snake can never bite the rope. The snake can never bite the rope. Similarly, the name and form can never bind the Atma. Can never bind the Atma. But I feel I am bound by this body. I feel I am getting old. I feel I am hungry. I feel your problem. Why you are identifying with the body? Then what should I? I can't help it. Identify with the Mahat. What was told before? Yachedvang manasi prajnah tadyached jnana atmani jnanam atmani mahati nyached tadyached shanta atmani. Identify in this manner. If you want at all, you want to think in this way about yourself. Why you are thinking about that? Why you are indulging in that which is not permanent, which is ephemeral, which is changing? Think about water, don't think about waves. Think about gold, don't think about ornaments. Think about mud, don't think about pots. Think about the Atman, don't think about everything that is supported by it. This is the mistake we are making. So, by reabsorbing all the name, form, karma, all the drama that is going on through this exercises, one comes to that prashanta chitta. Here it was told, swastha prashant atma krutakrutyah bhavati. When we follow this process, when we consciously go back to who we essentially are, untouched by activity, untouched by name and form, untouched by the, another example, untouched by the Triputi. We are untouched by the waking world, waking experience. We are untouched by the dreamer, the dream world, and the dream experience. And we are untouched by the absence of the two sets. And that is your natural position. You don't have to try anything hard. The fact that you know that these three states of waking, dream, deep sleep are coming and going means you are other than the three. And what is waking? Waking cannot be only waking. Waking is equal to waker plus waking world plus waking experience. Dreaming is equal to dreamer plus dream world plus dream experience. We may have never thought about it like this. That's why scriptures come into our life to show us, hey, catch it and get out. And thus he comes to be, becomes completely, comes to swastha, becomes healthy. By coming to the prashanta chitta, the mind becomes absolutely calm. Which is this calmness? This calmness is not opposed to shanti or opposed to ashanti. Shanti and ashanti are opposites of each other, always vying for superiority. But prashanta is transcendental peace. Sai Baba's Prashanti Nilayam. So where is Shanti and Ashanti? In the mind. Where is Prashanti? It is the transcendental self itself. Prashant Atma. Kritakritya. Kritakritya means completely content. Whatever has to be done has been done. Whatever is. I don't have to worry about maintaining this or securing this or promoting that. No. The moment we come to Prashant Atma, be the Prashant Atma. Again, Prashant Atma, that untouched principle in whose presence the equipment is fluctuating. The equipment is oscillating. In other words, in whose presence the mind is thinking, the breath is breathing, the body is changing. And don't stop there. From that body, it extends out to the whole universe. But who are you? The unchanging one, the Prashanta Atma. And having come to the source, having come to the unchanging principle, all desires are fulfilled because you alone are. So there is no desire for anything. Everything is the self alone. Therefore, nothing remains to be done or achieve or run away from. Kritakritya. Total contentment. Total satisfaction. Samadhan. Samadhan. This word Samadhan, this word Prashantatma, this transcendental peace, we are only talking about it. It is our nature. And as long as we are getting disturbed by people, we are getting disturbed by the world, or that disturbance is either we are running away from the world or we are running towards the world. That is the disturbance. That's what mind does, runs after something or withdraws from. Pravritti nivritti. Who are you? Untouched. Same thing. These three verses, 11th, 12th, and 13th, when it comes in Vivek Chudamani, what is Shatka Sampatti? Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhan. Shama, control of mind. Control of mind. Dama, control of senses. Shama, Dama, Titik, Uparama. Uparama is a point, the withdrawal is such that now the mind is is so dispassionate that it is not interested, even if the senses are open, it is not interested in going out and getting engaged in the world. Titiksha is the world is still coming to you. The body is still there, the mind is still there, the senses are still there, hunger is still there, waking, dream, deep sleep are still there. But Vairagya is there. No interest is there to engage in anything. And in initial stages, that titiksha is the endurance, that you want to remain in that quiet solitude and the world is demanding your attention. It is wanting you to engage yourself. Then what do? Do you complain? Do you react? You lose the plot. Then what do? Endure it happily. That will be the titiksha. And how do you bring the titiksha? So how do you do these previous four, Shama, Dama, Uparama and Titiksha? You do it with faith, Shraddha, that I can. Others have. Great masters have. Many of them were born worse than how I was born, in the circumstances that I was born, in the family that I was born. Many have seen many more difficulties in their life, yet they excelled and came to be the Prashantatma while living, not after death, while living. And it is possible for me also to be that. When we are fired up with this inspiration, then automatically Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, we will not find excuses that I can't control my mind, I can't control my senses, I don't know why the world is all only throwing bad things at me, only challenges at me. I am not able to have even a short respite from this. The moment I feel I have conquered this, there are 10 more things waiting for demanding my attention. Only crying. That's not the way. Titiksha is happy endurance. If you give attention to what is coming, you will react. But if you have given attention to the higher goal, to the Atman, then everything, kiya to kiya, nahi kiya to nahi kiya, kya farak padta hai? How does it matter? The world is like this only. Drop it. The world sorts itself out. It leaves you alone. Till you are giving attention, you have to sort out the world. The moment you unclick from it, the world sorts itself out. Like a person, when he's not leaving the office, why? If I go, how will the office work? How will the business work? How will the everyone? They will not work. They will be lazy. This, that, continuously doubting Tom, micromanaging. But for some reason, he has to go away. Some emergency. The office works better. The employees are more productive. Why? You are not interfering. Exactly the same way. The world sorts itself out, but we think we have to sort out other people's problem. We have to sort out the mind. We have to sort out the body. You get out of the way. You created all the problems by identifying. You get out, it will, uh, the problem itself will dissolve. What is the problem? Nama Rupa Karma. So, if this is the vision that is presented, and to have that vision, this is the most famous verse which you all have many times heard. Our Swami Vivekananda has said it many times. Our Modi ji has said it many times. Many masters have said it. Repeat after me. उत्तिष्ठत जाग्रत प्राप्य वरान् निबोधत. उत्तिष्ठत जाग्रत प्राप्य वरान् निबोधत. क्षुरस्य धारा निशिता दुरत्यया. क्षुरस्य धारा निशिता दुरत्यया. दुर्गम पथस्तत्कवयो वदन्ति. दुर्गम पथस्तत्कवयो वदन्ति. Once more. उत्तिष्ठत जाग्रत प्राप्य वरान् निबोधत. क्षुरस्य धारा निशिता दुरत्यया. दुर्गम पथस्तत्कवयो वदन्ति. Uttishtata, arise. Jagrata, awake. Prapya varan nibodhata. Reach the great one. Prapya, attain. Varan, that which is worthy. Nibodhata, consciously come to that. Majority of us are sleeping only. So we have to be. So, what are we awake to? We are awake to the world. We are awake to our employees' high-handedness. We are awake to the wives' ear bashing. We are awake to all the problems that can come to us. How everything is bad and I am good. Poor me. This is what we are awake to. We are awake to hunger, we are awake to our age, we are awake to our birthday, we are awake to our memories, we are awake to our expectations, goals, aspirations, duties. Have we even once been awake to our own essential nature? The Prashant Atma? Get up and start working towards it. Arise. Enough of living in inertia. Living in inertia means living with body identification. Living in inertia means living only for inert objects. Collecting houses, collecting money, collecting gold, collecting cars, collecting new clothes. This is all inert. It doesn't stop there. Collecting children also. You are not in love with the consciousness in their child. You are in love with the body, because this body created that body. See how much disservice we are doing to ourselves. So arise, man, arise. Don't sit there, twiddle your thumbs. I'm comfortable. I have worked my 50 years. Now I'm going to retire, and then do what? Wake up, live an active life. Never retire. Now what is the goal? Most of you are vanaprastha stage. Let me rub it in again and again. So what do you have to be? You should arise every day with a spring in your feet, in your feet. Jump out of the bed. Oh man, arise. Saying, I am retired now, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 9 o'clock. But when you talk, tell the children, no, getting up in the morning is very healthy. It is good for you. What are you doing? Are we utilizing the early hours of the day? Sleep in the afternoon if you have to. Arise. This is arising in the Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik, and Adhyatmik. This verse is not talking about Adi Bhautik and Adi Daivik. Excuse me. So this verse is not talking about Adi Bhautik or Adi Daivik. It is talking about Adhyatmika. Arise, be every morning it should be a yes, I am going to be who I essentially am. I'm going to work towards it. I'm going to contemplate about it. Maybe that's why you are coming and listening every day. Maybe that's why I'm giving lectures every day. Arise. Every satsang is an opportunity. We are looking forward to it. That is arising. Being awake to our own essential nature, not to the changing. Prapya varan nibodhata. He says, and reach that and realize that Atman Nibodhata. Come to know that. And what is that which the other great masters have realized? Varan Nibodhata. They also came to know. You also can come to know. Then, very next line. Kshurasya dhara nishita duratyaya. The path is like a kshurasya dhara. It is what do you call? It is like the sharp edge of a sword. Sword, razor, knife, whatever. Very sharp. It is not a blunt one. If you remember our younger days, I don't know, nowadays they got all the machines. But in the olden days, the barber, he used to take the razor, and on that leather belt, he will keep sharpening it, keep sharpening it, keep sharpening it. Not 1 second, 2 seconds, 1 minute, sometimes long, till he is not satisfied with the sharpness of the blade. And sometimes he used to get frustrated. अरे यार जल्दी करना यार साहब मैं जल्दी कर सकता हूँ. The sharpness that is required to by a scissor or by a knife or by an axe or by any sharp thing to cut grass or to cut a twig or to cut vegetables is different sharpness. And the sharpness required to shave is a different sharpness, correct? Exactly the same way. the sharpness of intellect. Kshurasya dhara. Here it is told that it is it is the walking on this path, meaning discriminating between the truth and the untruth, discriminating between the changeless and the changing, the infinite and the finite, is like the walking on this path. To discriminate is like a shurasya dhara. It's a double-edged, or not double-edged. It's a sharp edge, and it says Durgam patastat kavayo vadanti. The wise people say that it is difficult to cross and hard to tread. We know, we have seen, yesterday only I was seeing in the news, someone was in Australia, some cliff, between two cliffs, they put a rope and someone was crossing. Walking on a rope is far easy than walking on a sharp razor. You will cut yourself. Or you have to be finer than the razor edge itself. And what is the trick of the rope walker? Can't fall this way, can't fall that way. He has to maintain the poise. At this very moment, you are the self, and you are and the world is exposed to you, is there in front of you. Kshurasya dhara. Whom do you give attention to? Are you in poise with the world, or are you in poise with the self? Every moment, every moment. It's not one day, it's not I did. Every moment. Where are we? So the wise people say, Kavayo vadanti, Kavayaha vadanti, vadanti, to speak, have spoken. What have they spoken? Or speak? Who speak? Kavayaha. Kavaya means the wise ones. That indeed it is a razor's edge to walk upon and very difficult to cross. Just because you decide you want to know the self, it does not work that way. It requires respect, reverence, availability, practice. And not practice once in a week or once in a day. It can begin that way. Constant. You constantly feed yourself. You constantly breathe. And you don't feel the load of it, isn't it? You don't feel the load of seeing through the eyes. You don't feel the load of breathing. Arey baapre, since I was born, I'm breathing. I think I'm exhausted by breathing now. Have you ever said that? Have you ever said, I'm tired of seeing? Yes, if you are watching something with too much concentration, we do feel. Because you are identified with the senses. Oh, I'm carrying my head on my shoulders. Oh my God, I'm tired now of carrying this shoulder, tired of carrying this head. Do you take the head off? नहीं यार रख देते थोड़ा side में. Purse you can keep, but do you keep the head? It has to be an effortless contemplation, effortless poise, effortless glide. You find out each person is unique. Methodology is given. Take that verse 11, 12, 13. Be subjective. So we get into the bhashya now of this particular verse. We may make it sound easy. You are the self. Story over. But every time we say we are the self, question comes, which one? This satsang is going where? Going on where? It is going on in waking. If you give this too much importance, you have given importance to waking. Who are you other than the waking, dreaming, sleep, deep sleep? So we have to find, we have to tread on this razor's edge without getting involved, yet allowing everything to go on. So let's see how Shankaracharya ji unfolds this. He says, Anadi avidya prasupta uttishthat he jantava atmagnanabhimukha bhavataha. Oh, oh, the ones who, those of you who are sleeping for a long period, from beginningless time, you are sleeping. Oh, individuals, what? Atma Jnana Abhimukha. Those, why you are sleeping? Abhimukha. You have moved away. Because you are away from, turn your face towards the Atma. Atma Jnana Abhimukha. Turn your head towards the Atma Jnan. Shift your attention to the Atma Jnan. Turn inwards your senses, turn inwards your mind, turn inwards your intellect, so that it is looking at, it is contemplating upon, it is thinking about the self itself. Enough of looking outwards. Enough of looking away from the self. Another word for looking away from the self, self-forgetfulness. Uttishtata, Jagrata. Jnaneshwar, not Jnaneshwar Maharaj, Shankaracharya ji is saying, Jagrat Ajnana Nidraya Ghoru Rupayaha Sarvanartha Bija Bhutayaha Kshayam Kuruta. Turn, be available to the Atma Jnan and wake up from this agyan, from this ignorance, this sleep of ignorance, this deep sleep of ignorance, which you have been sleeping not just this lifetime, many lifetimes. That's why you are still here. Have you been pursuing this knowledge all your life? How many of you have known us, who known me, have known Swamiji, have known other Mahatmas? But how many of you have actually practiced? How many of actually sitting down and contemplating on the self. Oh, we have done 8 times we have gone to Kailash. So many times we have gone to Gangotri, Yamunotri, Kedar, Badri. So many times we have gone to where Kashi Vishwanath and Ayodhya and 12 Jyotirlingas and everywhere. We got a list. But where are they? Outside. And where are the scriptures asking us to go? Inside, to be. To be. So, what is this? Uh, uh, this ignorance, the sleep of ignorance in which we have been sleeping for so long. It is the seed of all anartha, of all inauspicious. Oh my God, can you digest it? From the sleep of ignorance, what comes out? Someone tell me, what comes out?
Desire and action.
Okay, desire and action. Something more inclusive. That is good. Think in some other words. What comes from the sleep of ignorance or deep sleep of ignorance? What comes out? Waking and dream. Dream, you are ready to give zero value the moment you wake up. Are we ready? Do we have the courage? Have we cultivated the acumen to give zero value to the waking? And everything that we are associated within the waking? देखो घंटी बज गई अभी. So what is anartha? Everything that comes out of this deep sleep of ignorance is anartha, is inauspicious. As Amma said, what comes out of ignorance? Calm, desire, and karma, action. Desire is inauspicious. Karma is inauspicious. If you are not able to digest it, that's your problem. Everything that is born out of ignorance is inauspicious. And we say the waking and dream, the seed, the unmanifest seed is in the deep sleep. Isn't it? Ab karo. You assess. जागृत अज्ञान निद्राया घोर रूपाया सर्वानर्थ बीज भूताया क्षयं कुरुत. क्षय करो. Bring about the cessation of this. We have found ourselves here. What can you do? We have found ourselves here. Consciously withdraw from it. Consciously reabsorb it into its source. Consciously turn the attention towards the constant principle. Consciously, not unconsciously. When? Every moment. Katham. So first, Shankaracharya ji makes a statement, then he himself asks a question. How should we do it? How should we reduce it? How should we reabsorb it? How should we shift our attention? He says, प्राप्य उपगम्य वरान प्रकृष्टान आचार्याः आचार्यान तद उपदिष्टम सर्वांतरम आत्मानम अहमस्मीति निबोधत अवगच्छत. He says, O great one, O worthy one, this is the way the teacher never undermines the Atma Bala, the possibility within the student to be the infinite. O great one, O worthy one, Varan. What does he say? How to do it? By going prapya upagamya. Upagamya, go and sit at the feet of whom and gain prapya and gain by whom? Varan prakrishtana prakristan acharyaha. Those who are worthy acharyas. Shankaracharya also went to Gaudapadacharya, Govindacharya. He sat at their feet, he studied the scriptures. We also went and sat at the feet of the teacher and we studied the scriptures. You are also doing the same. Recognize it is happening. This is the first step. Never, but here it is not on the Zoom. It is not told on the Zoom. We must be in direct contact with the teacher in satsang. This is convenient. Why? Oh, we worked so late, we don't want to drive all the way. That's... We'll still continue, but here it is told. So, what is that? Prakristan acharyaha tad vidaha tad upadishtam. And after going close to the acharya by after going near, upa means near, after going near to the acharya, सर्वांतरम आत्मानम अहमस्मीति निबोधत अवगच्छत. See how clear, one sentence only. Acharya Shankaracharya is just great. Having gone near the such acharyas, who are these? They are the ones who are established, prakrishta, utkrishta, well established in the truth, well established in the self. And when you go near them, and what are they talking? They are only talking about one thing. What is that? Aham Brahmasmi. I am the infinite. That is what they are telling you. They are telling you Tattvamasi, but where are they abiding? Aham Brahmasmi. So what is the Upadesh that they are giving? They are saying sarvantaram atmanam, that this Atma is all pervasive, sarvam akhilam brahma, that this Atma is all that there is, nothing else other than that Atma is, and that Atma I am. Wake up to this, arise to this. Raise the bar of who you think you are, who you accept yourself as. We have got great wisdom in forwarding messages. That's not wisdom. Wisdom is abiding in the self. And such great masters, such refined ones who know that Atma is the all pervading one and that I am. I am that infinite all pervading Atma. Without a doubt, without a reason, without a why or how, without an experience. Experience is only for the mind. Experience is always of something other. And thus come to know. How beautiful. Katham प्राप्य उपगम्य वरान प्रकृष्टान आचार्याः तद विदः तद उपदिष्टं सर्वांतरम आत्मानम अहमस्मीति निबोधत अवगच्छत. Now, even when we are reading the Sanskrit, after having understood what it means, you can easily catch what the sentence is. As I am reading, you can make out. Thoda thoda, if not everything. Aham asmiti, yeah, I am that. Aham asmi iti, thus I am that. How did you come to that conclusion? Because the teacher is teaching. Acharya is teaching. Who is that teacher? And what is he teaching? He is teaching that the self is all that there is. Self is the all-pervasive one. Didn't we just show you through example that the mind is pervading everything and everyone in the dream? You have to create the distance. You have to wake up from the... So what happened to the dreamer? He awoke. He woke up. You also wake up from the waking dream. How? By going near great masters, not great masters who have a big following, or they are having lot of paraphernalia around, or they have got lot of money, or they go in great cars and have big ashrams. No. You don't choose the teacher. Let the teacher, let the acharya, let the master come into your life. You be the seeker. You prepare yourself. The teacher will appear. And I'm not saying that just because I've read the scriptures and gone to the ashram. I went to the ashram by only preparing. I just prepared myself. And an insatiable urge to know, to confirm, to convert what was being experienced in meditation to be into a constant natural state. The teacher appears. Life will take you wherever it has to take you. Learn to flow. Make yourself available. Prepare, 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 prepare. Don't prepare about I have to create a portfolio for my children and my grandchildren. Then what are they going to do if you're going to do everything for them? Then they will do what Bob Jane Timar did. He put his father and declared he is mad and took away all his wealth. And he died a pauper in a nursing home. He declared him mad. Oh, that will not happen to us. Try. Nahi upekshita. One moment. नहि उपेक्षितव्यम इति श्रुतिः अनुकंप्याः मातृवत अतिसूक्ष्म बुद्धि विषयत्वात् ज्ञेयस्य. He says that when the teacher is teaching that the self is all pervasive and I am that, this should be your experience, this should be your conclusion, this should be the click that must happen every time you hear the words of the scriptures or from the realized masters. It should not come to our mind. Here it says, no, nahi. Indeed, we must not say that that is not possible for us. It is very difficult. उपेक्षा नहीं करनी चाहिए. Yeah, that's okay. It's okay for you, but we are married, we have got responsibilities, we are senior citizens, we are retired, we have got, now our body doesn't move, now memory is going, no, n number of excuses. This is upeksha. Or they say, oh, how does it matter if this fellow is saying that self is all pervading? He is only speaking. What does he know? This is reality. Responsibilities are reality. Body is reality. World is reality. These are the real life problems. And he is talking about life. Self is all pervasive. Arey, why have you gone there? To judge him? Why have you gone there? To reinforce your miseries? Or have you gone to the teacher, to the acharya, to the master, to transform your vision? Or to reinforce your misery, to reinforce your ignorance, to reinforce your incapability? Is that why we come to the scriptures? Is that why we come to the classes? Is that why I give lectures? To reinforce, अरे यार ये तो इतना कुछ बोल रहा है, I don't think I will get there. Tathastu, scriptures will say. So be it. We are not coming to the scriptures or masters for that purpose. We should never doubt what the scriptures, masters and teachers and the God is saying or guiding us, is gracing us with. Never. Because Shrutihi anukampyaha matruvata. Our mom blesses her, loves us unconditionally. But her unconditional love is only for her children, who have been born out of her womb. Shruti Mata is the greatest mother. She is taking you back to your source, back to who you are. Which mother tells you, beta, go and become sannyasi? Very few, very rare. In that rare, even my mom doesn't come. See? Which mother wants? They want the child to go through the same challenges, same difficulties, because they are thinking only about the world. But Shruti Mata, she is not telling you, not in Bhagavad Gita, not in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, not in Upanishads, not in Vedas, nowhere in any of the scriptures does it tell you get involved in the world. She teaches you karma so that you purify yourself. She teaches you upasana so that you become ekagra and single pointed. She teaches you Vedanta or jnana so that you transcend everything. But nowhere she says, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. Nowhere she gives importance to the world. We are talking Shruti. Shruti Mata means the Vedas. Shruti Mata means here we only mean Shruti Mata means the Vedas. Ati Sukshma Buddhi Vishayatvat Gneyasya. And then he says, because this knowable Ati Sukshma Buddhi Vishayatvat, this topic requires Ati Sukshma Buddhi, very, very subtle intellect is required to come to know, come to abide, come to surrender, whatever words you want to use. Come to know this Atma Tattva, this self. Because right now you are using intellect, you are thinking, you are contemplating, you are listening. Eyes are not listening, ears are just windows through which the words are going. But it's the intellect which is saying, yeah, assessing, contemplating. Many people listen, yeah, I must tell my wife about this. She should not be outward oriented. She should not go window shopping. She should not buy more clothes. She should not do this. We are not talking about your wife. So who is listening to the scriptures? If this is the thought going on in your mind, the husband is sitting. Husband can never come to know the truth. Can man come to know the truth? No. Because man, woman. It requires very subtle discrimination and understanding. For that we have to keep refining, keep refining. Refinement is like you have a stone. When you take a stone, you can't see your reflection. You keep rubbing it with another stone or with a brick. Eventually it starts shining after many hours of gisofying. And eventually the capacity within that stone to reflect your image, will reflect your face, is achieved. This is refinement of that. Refinement doesn't mean collecting more information. Refinement means by coming closer to the conscious principle that I am. And that is only possible initial stages when mind becomes quiet. Mind will become quiet when you are less engaged with the world. We must be happy with our own company. Kim eva sukshma buddhi iti uchyate. How is this sukshma buddhi? How is this subtle intellect cultivated? Kshurasya dhara agram nishita tikshnikruta duratyaya dukkhenatyayoho dukkhenati yayah yasya sa duratyaya. So it is told how is this subtle intellect? Then it is said, just like a sharpened razor or knife, like a sharpened knife. So here it is told that the front part, very delicately you have to sharpen. You can't chip it off. This way, that way, this way, that way, this way, that way, up, front, back, you keep sharpening it, keep sharpening it. In your kitchen, you must be taking that knife and putting it through that, and it comes out sharp. Little bit turn on this weight of the knife on this side or that side, you get a chip in the on the sharp side. You have to throw that knife off. Same way here, very carefully we have to effortlessly, with commitment, with availability, with focus, we have to remain single pointed. We have to sharpen the intellect without reacting to anything, without expecting anything, without running away from anything. That is called the poise. Knowing fully well that I am trying all this, I am doing all this, and I can never come to know the self because I am the self. So I will never have the experience of the self. And yet you keep pursuing. Yet you continue to sharpen your mind, intellect. यथा सा पद्भ्याम दुर्गमनीया तथा दुर्गम दुस्संपाद्यमित्येतत् पथः पंथानं तत्त्वज्ञानलक्षणं मार्गं कवयः मेधाविनो वदन्ति. Just like when on that sharp edge someone is walking with for someone it is very difficult to walk with bare feet. What will happen? They will cut themselves. Similarly, this path of Atma Jnana, Panthanam Tattva Jnana Lakshanam Margam, the path of Atma Jnana is also very difficult and is very difficult to attain. And so say the Kavayaha Medhavinaha Vadanti. Those who are of those who are the seers of truth, those who are knowers of the truth, Medhavi, they say so. Neyaha अति सूक्ष्मत्वात् तद विषयः यः ज्ञानमार्गस्य दुस्संपाद्यत्वं वदन्तीति अभिप्रायः. What we are suggesting, or what is the what you call the essence of it, is that that which we want to know. What is that what we want to know? The Atma, the self. It is very, 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 very fine. It is very, very, very subtle. Because it is so subtle, the knowers, the seers, they say no equipment is capable of knowing that Atma, because it is so fine. And to bring this to our cognition, this Kshurasya Dhara has been told. Otherwise, yeah, I came to know. It cannot be gained objectively. Our intellect works only objectively. What is the difference between mind and intellect? Mind can think of objects which are outside and inside, waking and dream. Intellect can think about something beyond, which is not in the purview of waking or dream or deep sleep. It can think of something beyond. That is the capacity of the intellect if it is prepared correctly. And it is possible for it only when it has faith, reverence, respect. When it is committed, when it is refined. How does it refine itself? By going to the feet of the masters. And what are the masters again and again roaring away? Arise, awake to your essential nature. That's what they are roaring all the time. Uttishtata jagrata prapya varan nibodhata. And they don't get tired. Because which satsang, which word, whenever they are saying or not saying, being in the presence of great masters, when the spark will light, we don't know. But we must make ourselves available. So here when it says neyasya iti sukshmatvat tad vishayasya jnana margasya dussampadhyatvam, even the jnana marg is not able to deliver the truth to you. So say the wise men. Then what is the jnana marg doing? It is doing the job of a thorn. You are pricked with the thorn, another thorn is taken, that which is pricked is taken out, and both are thrown away. So you are pricked with ignorance, Gyanma comes, removes the ignorance, teaches you how to, and then it also gets dropped away. And how do you remove the ignorance? Not by focusing on ignorance. It tells you focus on something higher. You are the Atma. It tells you focus on that. Time ho gaya. So go look for the thorn. So we'll read this verse again and conclude. Uttishthata jagrata prapya varan nibodhata. Uttishthata jagrata prapya varan nibodhata. Kshurasya dhara nishita duratyaya. क्षुरस्य धारा निशिता दुरत्यया दुर्गं पथस्तत्कवयो वदन्ति दुर्गं पथस्तत्कवयो वदन्ति ॐ पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ